boys. So we are in New Zealand currently, Auckland, New Zealand specifically. It's been amazing, but between all the work that we're doing, I have been working on the app that I want to launch in the next couple of months or so. It's an app that I believe is going to help a lot of creators on TikTok and social media in general to create social media videos or social media clips a lot easier. So for any creator that doesn't really know how to edit any videos or know how to use complex softwares like Premiere Pro or DaVinci or anything like that, I'm creating this app for them. One thing that you guys should absolutely do when you're building your iOS app is use project rules or development rules. A lot of the times AI likes to hallucinate, and sometimes it tries to impress the user by doing a little bit more than what you ask it to do. So to prevent this and for the AI to produce consistent code, then you must use project rules or development rules, and Cursor makes it really easy for you to pretty much add that as context within each prompt that you essentially input into Cursor itself. That's my number one advice when you're building out your project in Cursor, is use project rules or development rules. So a lot of us have these creative ideas or these cool features that we want to include in our app, but we don't really think about how it's going to impact the user, how much time or money it's going to save the user, or what kind of pain points it's going to solve. So I think going from that perspective when you're creating the app is really beneficial, because that way you start to build according to what's going to actually help them, not what's going to be cool. Because right now I'm working on a feature for my app, and I'm trying to think of, if I were the creator editing a video for my social media, what would I need in the UI in order for me to actually be able to successfully and efficiently edit a video and export it all within an app. The whole point of this video that I'm making is I want to give you guys a more raw and authentic perspective of how it is essentially vibe coding. You know, this term has been thrown around loosely for the past couple months, and it gets a lot of hate online because a lot of professional coders and developers think that vibe coding isn't really coding. And, you know, I can see kind of where they're coming from, but at the same time, there's a lot of prominent figures in the AI and tech space that have come out and said AI will essentially produce 80 to 90% of the code within the next 2 to 3 years within their own organization. So I think AI coding is going to be the future. That's just my personal opinion. You guys may have your own. You know, just recently, about 2 weeks ago, Microsoft just fired 7,000 employees overnight, just like that. And that's due to them being able to be replaced directly with AI. I think we're living in an AI gold rush where a bunch of people are, you know, rushing to make whatever they can with AI and use AI towards their advantage to make a lot of money online, whether it's building software products or AI agents or AI automation systems to sell to corporations and businesses. And so I wanted to record this video to essentially talk about just how amazing it is that we currently live in a time where, you know, a guy like me with no coding experience, I didn't go to school for this, I didn't take any online courses. For a guy like me to go from literally having an idea to actually producing it and generating the code and making it all come together, packaging it up, and actually being able to put it on the App Store where people can download it and buy the subscription, and that within itself generates me income. Like, that's insane. And you know, sometimes I have imposter syndrome, but at the same time, a lot of people don't know how to do this, and a lot of people actually want to do this and are struggling to even start. And so that's when I realized that I can potentially teach you guys something, because I actually did it. But yeah, let me show you guys really quick kind of how I'm doing everything. So yeah, over here on this side, you guys can't really see that well just because it's dark outside and my camera doesn't really do well in low light. But so yeah, this right here is Cursor. So this is kind of the IDE that I've been using. So right here you can kind of chat with it, and down here you can see it's agent, and then I'm currently using Gemini 2.5 Pro. So you can essentially type in whatever, and then the agent mode will use Gemini 2.5. And also if you add context right here, you can see project rules. It's attached as context. So it uses all of those inputs and it generates the code for you, and then it'll put it on this side, so it'll generate the code here in the directory, and you can essentially see like all of the code being written here too. It's a nice intuitive software that's very, very powerful once you start to learn how to actually use it. So then you go down here and you open up Xcode, and here is the platform that all iOS apps are essentially developed on. Some iOS apps are developed on other platforms, but typically it's on Xcode itself. As you can see here, this directory is essentially the exact same as this directory. That is because both of these platforms or both of these softwares are opened up under the same folder. Essentially, whatever you generate on this end gets copied and pasted over on this end over here. So it's really simple, it's really intuitive, and it's really efficient. As you can see here, like all of this code that's generated here was generated on this end with Cursor using AI. And so that is fucking incredible. There's never been a time in history where you're able to do this easily and this fast. I think if you're watching this right now and you have an idea for an iOS app that you want to build, or maybe even a SaaS or a website, whatever the case may be, you should open these softwares, start the free trials, or buy the premium or pro or whatever it costs. It's like 20 bucks a month. It's not even that expensive. And start building, start messing around with it. And the more you get experience with these models and AI in general and these softwares and IDEs or whatever you want to call them, the more valuable you're going to be in the near future. That's kind of my mindset as I finish up this year and going into the next year. So life is crazy, man. I think AI will definitely produce a lot of millionaires in the next 1 to 2 years. But yeah, boys, it's freaking cold and it's midnight and I have to wake up in 7 hours to go film some stuff. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to keep it more raw and authentic and kind of give you guys a POV of what it's like to, you know, essentially just vibe code and work on these iOS apps using these AI tools and using these AI softwares. So if you guys have any ideas or you guys have any requests of anything you'd want me to cover, definitely leave it down below in the comments. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my time here in New Zealand. I'm gonna keep building, and hopefully you guys use this video as motivation or inspiration and use it as your sign to finally open up Cursor or ChatGPT or any other AI software and start building something cool and beneficial and useful for the world. I'll catch y'all next time.